Hello there. Today, we're going to be detectives and solve a really cool mystery in the night sky. Why does the moon sometimes seem to vanish, or even turn a little bit red? You've probably looked up and seen that beautiful full moon lighting up the night sky. But have you ever seen it play a little game of hide and seek? Well, this amazing event is called a lunar eclipse, or in Arabic, خسوف القمر. And today, we're going to figure out exactly how it works.
So, to solve this mystery, first we need to get to know our main character, the moon. It's the brightest thing we see in the night sky, but it has a little secret about where all that light really comes from.
Okay, so here's the moon's big secret. It doesn't make its own light. Not at all. It's actually a dark, opaque, that's mutaform object. So you're probably wondering, why does it look so bright? Well, it acts like a giant mirror floating in space, reflecting, or yakis, the light from the sun as it orbits around our Earth.
Okay, clue number 1. The moon is a reflector. Got it. Now, the next huge clue to solving our mystery is all about shadows. We just learned that the moon is an opaque, or motem object, and anything that's opaque will block light and create a shadow behind it, just like you do when you're standing out in the sun. We can actually see exactly how this works with a super simple experiment. If you take a light source, like a lamp, and you put an opaque object, like a ball, right in front of it, what do you think is going to happen on a screen behind that ball? That's right, a shadow appears. The ball blocks the light from the lamp, and that creates a dark area. Now I want you to imagine the Earth is the ball, and the sun is the lamp. This simple idea is really the key to understanding a lunar eclipse. Now here's something you might not know. Shadows actually have two different parts. There's the umbra, or al-dal, which is the really dark center part where no light gets through at all. And then there's the penumbra, or shibbolethal, which is the lighter shadow around the edges, where some light can still get in. Keep these two words in mind. They're going to be really important for our investigation. All right, detectives, we have all our clues. We know the moon reflects sunlight, and we know that the Earth creates a big shadow that has an umbra and a penumbra. So let's put it all together and finally solve this mystery. Just like the ball in our little experiment, our giant planet Earth blocks the sun's light, and that creates a massive shadow that stretches way out into space. So what do you think happens when the moon's orbit takes it right through that shadow? And this is the answer to our whole mystery. A lunar eclipse happens when the sun, the Earth, and the moon all line up perfectly, in that exact order. The Earth gets right in the middle and casts its giant shadow directly onto the moon. So, the most important thing to remember is this. A lunar eclipse, or khasuf al-qamar, is when the moon enters the Earth's shadow. This special lineup can only happen during the full moon phase, when the moon is on the complete opposite side of the Earth from the sun. Now, remember those two parts of a shadow we just talked about? Well, because of that, eclipses also come in two main types, and it all depends on which part of Earth's shadow the moon decides to pass through. A total lunar eclipse is when the entire moon passes through the Earth's umbra. That's the dark central shadow. And this is when the really cool stuff happens. The moon doesn't disappear completely. Instead, it can turn this deep, spooky red color, which is why people sometimes call it a blood moon. Then we have a partial lunar eclipse. This is when only part of the moon goes into the umbra, which makes it look like somebody has taken a giant bite right out of it. You've learned so much already. So before we wrap up our investigation, let's do a quick practice round to check your knowledge and make sure you've totally cracked the case. Are you ready? Okay, first question for you. What is the main reason for a lunar eclipse? Is it A, the moon's orbit around Earth, B, Earth's shadow on the sun, or C, Earth is between the sun and the moon? Take a second to think about it. If you picked C, you are absolutely correct. That perfect Sun-Earth-Moon lineup is exactly what lets Earth's shadow fall on the moon. Fantastic work! All right, let's try one more. A partial lunar eclipse occurs when A, the whole moon is in the Earth's umbra, B, part of the moon is in the Earth's umbra, or C, the moon is in the new moon phase. What's your answer? Yes! The answer is B. Remember, the word partial, or juzzy, means only a part. So in a partial eclipse, just a piece of the moon enters that darkest part of Earth's shadow. You are doing an amazing job. Well, I think it's official. You have solved the mystery of the lunar eclipse. Let's do a quick recap of all the awesome clues we uncovered today.
So, we learned that the moon shines by reflecting sunlight. We discovered that our opaque Earth casts a giant shadow into space. We figured out that a lunar eclipse happens simply when the moon passes through that shadow. And finally, we now know there are total eclipses, where the whole moon is covered, and partial eclipses, where it just looks like a piece is missing.
You did such an amazing job today. Now, the next time you see a lunar eclipse up in the sky, you'll know exactly what's going on. You are a true science star. Keep asking questions and keep exploring, because learning is an adventure. I'll see you next time.